This is my audience for my persuasive speech. Today we're going to be talking about spanking children and corporal punishment. I'm going to inform you on the controversy about whether or not parents should be allowed to use corporal punishment. Although spanking may not be the best form of discipline for all children, the parent's decision to spank the children for or to stop bad behavior should be respected. Typically, the goal of physically disciplining a child is to attempt or correct or punish bad or unsafe behavior. This has been a controversy not just between parents but also psychologists and pediatricians. This speech could be relevant to the audience if they were spanked growing up or plan to use corporal punishment on their kids one day. This speech excludes any parents who use discipline as an excuse to abuse their children. This issue about parents not wanting other parents to spank the children is the first thing I'm going to be talking about. The parents' right to raise the kids how they see fit and why it is important is the second point. The third point about spanking is about how it relates to my audience and if they were spanked as a child. Let's start off by talking about this problem. What the problem is some parents believe that spanking children is not an acceptable form of punishment and they're trying to control the other parents and who believe spanking the children is okay. This problem is important because parents have the right to raise the children how they see fit. After some research, I have found an analysis by Murray Wardup that says a study found that youngsters smacked up to the age of 6 did better in school and were more optimistic about their lives than those never hit by their parents. It is just one of many studies that says children who were spanked by parents were more successful later in life. If the audience was or wasn't spanked as children, this could determine their successfulness in schools and their career. Another relevance to the audience would be if they plan to have children someday, and the effects would be the same for them too. As problems by parents trying to control other parenting methods arise, we need to discuss plans to solve this issue. Specifically, in the United States, we do not have any laws banning corporal punishment. Parents who are against spanking are afraid that it might lead to abuse because parents usually hit out of anger. To solve this problem, I propose a law similar to the 2004 Children's Act of the United Kingdom. Their laws pretty much say that a parent can physically discipline as long as there are no lingering bruises or marks on the child. This plan works because it keeps the noses of parents who object out of other people's business. One objection to this plan might be how the police or government might track this. Like most laws, the police and government can stop all illegal things, but with the new law put in place, it can be something else that they look for. After hearing my steps about what we need to take to solve this problem, I'm going to ask you to visualize the steps. If my plan is adopted, the audience would have to deal with all defiant children who didn't get spanked because their parents were bullied by other parents. The audience could choose whether or not to use corporal punishment on their children. If my plan is adopted, parents can openly choose whether or not to discipline their children. The world does not have to live in fear of abuse going unseen and overlooked, and the children can stay safe. If the parents against corporal punishment win, the world is going to have a bunch of unruly children. Not just bad behavior at home, but also at school. There's already been other countries such as Taiwan banning the use of spanking. Yang Chang and Roger C. Shao say, though such problems are not persuasive in all Taiwanese schools, teachers are more likely in the past to be confronted by disciplinary problems in the United States and Taiwan alike. Changes in students' behaviors, school laws, and parent attitudes combine to make a pupil control a more difficult problem for teachers and school officials. I'm proposing a law similar to the 2004 Children's Act in the United Kingdom. This law, it will say that it is okay to spank a child as long as there's no lingering marks or bruises. These are all issues that need to be resolved so that parents get to choose who they want to raise their children. It is legal to spank your children as long as there are no marks left. The studies are there and show that people tend to do better in life when they are spanked as a child to correct bad behavior. So my call to action is that you sign my petition to make this a law, saying it is okay to spank your children as long as there are no lingering marks or bruises on them. It is important to let parents decide how they want to correct bad behavior in children because only the parents know their children the best. If parents choose to spank their children, then their child, it is their decision and it should be respected.